What's going on, kings and queens? It's Fresh Paws on your screen. And I'm back. Yeah, I gotta work on that. I'm so tired of that. Definitely don't want to get into my whole inconsistency. You know, it just is what it is. So we're just gonna let that be. So today, oh man, this story. Today we have a little story time. And basically this was like, okay, so this was like probably 2014, so like 3-4 years ago. I was working at Panera Bread in Pennsylvania. I don't live in Pennsylvania no more, but yeah, I was working there, and so it was a Sunday. I was catching the bus at that time, and it was a Sunday, and sometimes they run, sometimes they didn't. I think they had like alternate Sundays that they came out. And I felt like it was this particular Sunday that I went to work. I felt like the buses were going to come out because that's how I got to work. But anyway, so I get off work and I go down to the bus stop and I'm standing there just waiting. And this weird looking van comes pulling up asking me if I'm waiting for the bus. Now, this van, mind you guys, looked like one of those type of vans that you would see on TV, like a guy like trying to kidnap children. Like, you really couldn't see inside his vehicle besides in the front. And I don't know, like his windows like were kind like you couldn't see nothing. Like, and they weren't tinted windows. He didn't have tinted windows at all. But I said windows. Anyway, but he didn't. And so, he was like, are you waiting on the bus? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, well, they don't run on Sundays. I was like, well, I caught the bus earlier this morning. I was like, yes, they do. So I was just like, whatever. And he was like, well, I'm just letting you know that they don't run. Are you sure you don't need a ride? I was like, yeah, I'm sure. So he drives off. I'm thinking, boom, bam, flam. That's over and done with. No. So I'm standing there. And he drives past. Standing there. Drives on by again. And the third time he came by, he actually just kind of sat there a little bit until cars started to come behind him. I was getting so freaked out. I was getting so nervous. So by the fourth time, there was already other cars coming when he came back a fourth time. And he just looked so, like, he was an older white man. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be so, what do you call it? My song's on. But, what the hell do you call it? Statistical, but I feel like that's not the word for it. But he just looked so, like that type, like that old man type that just goes around, kidnapping little girls and tries to harm women. Like, and I was just really, really scared because I was like, at that point when I was waiting as long as I did, and I was checking the time and stuff too like that, because it wasn't like it was long periods of time when he showed up. It was short periods of time when he would show up. So like I wasn't standing there like for too long when he would show up, but still I felt like I was standing there a bit too long when I looked at my phone finally to see what time it was, and I was like, all right, well, I saw him coming up a fourth time, so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna move to the other bus stop. I'm gonna make it seem like I'm leaving or I got a ride or something like that, because he asked me again if I needed a ride the third time too, and I was like, no, I'm good. And after that, I started walking away, and this other car pulls over, and I was a little nervous. It was another guy. He was a little younger though, and I was still nervous, okay? I was like, but either way, I got to figure out how the hell I'm getting home, because I'm for damn sure not walking on no damn highway. And it was cold, okay? It was cold and there was snow on the ground. This girl right here wasn't walking in the snow, okay? Not that far, no, I wasn't. So he pulls over and he's like, do you need a ride, da-da-da? And, I kind of had that, like, standoffish type of attitude. And then he was just like, I'm heading the same direction as you, where you going, blah, blah, blah. And I let him know, whatever. So I let him give me a ride. I felt a little safer with him than no. I just didn't trust that guy. That van was too much for me. That van turned me all the way off. And then him being as old as he looked and the way that he looked, like, no, I was good. I mean, I was good. So I got in the car with him. And as we're riding, we're having short, small talk that got a little bit too deep or personal, I would say. So basically, he was just like giving me this rundown about like how, he was trying to basically get with me. And he was talking about how he had to run back to his house for his wife because his wife and his son was at the mall and he had to go pick them up, but he had to go do something back at the house or something like that, and then go, like, I don't know, it was just this crazy cockamamie story about his wife and his son being at the mall and he was going back home to get whatever. Like, I was thinking, why wouldn't you take them? But I mean, sometimes people just like to have that space for a second. So I didn't really like look at him too crazy, but I was still like, red flag. So we keep talking, and like he starts talking about how like he wants to do stuff with me and how he wants to like take me out and if I would mind and all this other jazz. And I'm looking at him like, boy, you're married and you have a son. Like, no. I was like, how would your wife feel about this? Like, no. It got uncomfortable very quickly. But I will say that he was a gentleman about the whole situation. He wasn't rude. He wasn't disrespectful or nothing like that. And then he kind of just dropped me off at an area that was perfect because I did not want to show this man where I lived. So I was just like, right up the street from my house. He didn't know. He dropped me off. He said, well, it was nice meeting you. I said, nice meeting you too. Thank you for the ride. And boop, he was off. So, yeah. I couldn't wait to get home. That's all I knew. So in that car, I was like, God, please get me home safely. Please get me home safely. Please allow this to have been the right decision because I really need to get home and I don't know how else I was going to get home. Like, oh, it was just a lot. Like, I was thinking about so freaking much because I was so scared. And honestly, if it hadn't been for him, if I hadn't, don't mind this ratty looking ponytail. I know it's crazy. I've been having my moments with hair, and usually sometimes I keep up with them, but I haven't been keeping up with my hair, guys. Just like I haven't been keeping up with these videos. For the life of me, I need to get it together. See, I can't even talk. I need to get it together, guys. I need to get it together. But anyways, but that's all I really had to say about that story. Like, I really just felt like he was going to kidnap me and I wasn't ever going to see my family again. I was grateful that, I felt like in that moment, the universe was intervening. God was intervening in that point in time and offered me another ride from someone else who I may feel uncomfortable with, but at least he got me to where I needed to be and in a manner that made me feel, safe. So at the end of the day, I'm glad that it turned out the way that it did because at least I was saved by someone else because otherwise I probably would have been walking around and this MRFer would have probably been like still lurking and trying to find me and trying to get me to get in his vehicle, and I would have been so done with that situation. I probably would have went to jail. Not even funny because that was, like I said, that was very scary. But I've heard scarier situations. Believe me, I heard scarier situations. So like I said, I was touched by an angel that day, and I'm glad that I'm here to this day to be able to tell such story that did not go the way that it could have been. Okay. Well, with that being said, guys, I thank you guys and I love you guys for tuning into my videos. I know that I haven't been consistent. Like I said, it is what it is. I have to start doing right by myself, by me, basically. And I am going to get myself together. Oh my gosh, I need to get myself together, guys. But anyway, with that being said, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like, share, subscribe, and turn those post notifications on. Well, I mean, you probably don't have to do that just yet until I start actually bringing the material I need to be bringing. But anyway, in the words of my grandmother, see you. See you.